Hi, I'm John B, and let's play Starfleet Command Volume 2 Empires at War. This quick set of videos will demonstrate how the game works. For that, I'm going to skirmish a Federation heavy cruiser against a Klingon lightweight frigate. This is to give you a sense of how the game works. Right now, I've already set the game speed to 1, as you can see here, and right now I'm going to go to Red Alert. Red Alert, down in this corner here, determines the various weapon status of your ship. Green Alert is basically you're not interested in fighting, Yellow Alert is there's a possibility of fighting, and Red Alert is let's go kill something. Seeing as how this is a game about starship combat, I think we're going to be spending a lot of time in Red Alert mode. This button right here is the fire button, which I can simulate by pressing the Z key. On the main screen here, I can press the left button anywhere to cause my ship to turn in that direction. I can right-click on any target to focus on that target. Right now I'm going to turn to face my enemy. As you can see, I'm facing down a frigate, range 46.6 and decreasing, and he's speeding up to range past speed 14. Down here I have my power systems. I am currently generating 38 points of power and using 24.5 for all my stuff. The phasers, weapons, shields, no movement yet though. I'm going down here, I have my movement bar, which goes from 0 to 31. Right now I am going to speed up to speed 10, which will give me a little bit of movement. You can see that my system's power has gone up. That's because I'm spending power for movement now. Up here we have the target hull integrity, which is a general idea of how tough or how much fight is left in this of the target. Here we have my hull integrity, which is a general indication of how much fight I have left. In the middle here we have the phaser capacitor, which determines how much energy is available to fire my phasers. The little tab at the top here, when slid to the right, fills the phaser as fast as it can, and when slid all the way to the left, stops filling the phaser capacitor at all. Slide it like that. Down here we have a little bit of more information as before. Range to target, speed to target. Defense shift is the capacity of your ship to defend itself from enemy fire through use of electronic warfare. Attack shift is your enemy defending itself. Below that I have selected weapons, 4 photon torpedoes, 10 phaser 1s, and 2 phaser 3s. I'm not actually running a basic heavy cruiser right now. I'm running what Starfleet Command calls a CAI. That is, it has extra phaser 1s with a 360 fire control, and a pair of defensive phasers firing to the rear. It also comes equipped with more power than your normal Federation heavy cruiser. Give me a second here. I'm just going to do a little bit of maintenance text to minimize the damage my enemy will do to me. I'm going to fire off a probe at my enemy here to have a good look at him. Starfleet Command uses something in tactical intelligence. Basically, you don't know if you're far away from your enemy, you don't know much about them. As my probe gets closer, I determine my enemy is a Klingon G2 class vessel. It's a frigate based on the picture here. I can see now that it has 2 A-racks, missile racks, 2 phasers, and an anti-drone rack. Those phasers are phaser 2s. I'm under no serious threat from this guy, not a problem. Down here, my phasers turned red. This means that now they're armed and my enemy is within range of them. If I were to fire my phasers at my enemy, I could expect to deal anywhere between 0 to 10 points of damage with an average of 1. I'm not going to do it at this range. Up here, we have... Hold on, I'm just going to turn to face my target. Oh, my opponent just fired a couple of its phasers at me. It's at a very extreme range, so it didn't do much damage. Up here, we have the navigation display. This is the name of my navigational officer, John Ryan. It makes no difference to the play who's here or who's not. In fact, I think it's pretty much completely randomized. This is the emergency stop button, which brings your ship to a crashing halt. Like it says on the name tag, this is an emergency use only button. This is erratic maneuvers, which causes your ship to jink back and forth. It makes it harder for your enemies to hit you, but by the same token, it makes it harder for you to hit your enemies. These are the high energy turn buttons. High energy turn left, any direction, high energy turn right, hard right, about face, and hard left. The chance for HET is a percentage base. It starts at 100%. Smaller ships or more nimble ships can have a higher percentage to start with. If you perform a high energy turn, this number will go down and slowly recharge. Failing a high energy turn is usually a bad thing as your ship breaks down. This is the orbit button, which causes your ship to try to maintain its current distance from the target. This is the follow button, which causes your ship to face its target as best it can. This button here is the set your own direction button. Next we have repairs. This is where you determine or effect repairs to your ship. You can click this if your ship's damaged, your power systems go down. You can click repair engines to cause your ship to try and restore its power. I have 4 spare parts here, and if my ship was damaged, I could click on a damaged system here, which would cause it to go into the damage repair queue. This item here is being repaired currently, and this uses this status bar to determine how long it'll take to be fixed. Next is the science display. I launched a probe earlier, so I don't need to do that again. I have 9 probes left. The deep scan here increases power to your sensors, makes it easier for you to gather tactical intelligence about something. It's mostly a plot device. This is the self-destruct button. Do not touch it. Understand me? Next we have the security tab. Hit and run and capture. Oh, my enemy just fired a couple of drones at me. I'm going to ignore those for now because there's no way they're going to touch me. I have 4 transporters here. I can select specific targets on my enemy to determine hit and run rates. Hit and runs are where I attempt to beam over Marines onto my enemy ship and blow up certain systems. You can see that I have phasers firing against the drones there, which caused them to disappear. They got shot down. The enemy frigate here is currently under erratic maneuvers, as it jinked a little bit back and forth there, and deployed a transporter mine out its shuttle bay. Transporter mines, you run them over, you take damage. Have a nice day. The capture tab shows me the transporters I have. It also shows you how many... Oh, you fired at me, did you? Bad. Shows you how many Marines the enemy ship has, how many Marines you have, as well as the percentage of control. This is who is controlling it. In this case, the Klingon Empire controls the ship. Next tab is Weapons tab. Here we can select weapons to go into certain weapon groups. Phasers, heavy weapons, all weapons. We can also drop mines out we can also drop our own T-bombs out of here by pressing the deploy button. It shows you how many T-bombs I have left. Here switches my weapons from fire to kill and fire to stun. I want to fire to kill at this point. The next tab is the Communications tab. Here we can go over messages our ship has received. It's usually used for plot purposes only. Next we have Defenses. This is the emergency stop button again. Toggling this button will turn off, turn on using your phasers to shoot down seeking weapons such as drones and plasma. Here you can turn on your tractor beams to engage them in anti-drone work. My enemy just dropped off another T-bomb there. I have no idea why. It's not like I'm going to run into it. If I had sensor decoy shuttles, I could launch them from here. I'll explain those later. Next we have the tactical map. This little blue dot in the middle is me. That red dot is my enemy. You can pull out enough, and you can see the red line around here. That's the edge of the battleground. You go past it, and basically you leave the scenario. It's disengagement. This is the fleet control. I'll touch upon this later when I actually have a fleet to control. For now, I'm on the CAI Intrepid. This is where I'm at. This is my fleet flagship. Power distribution. This shows you percentage-wise how much power is being used for certain purposes. The 5s along here determine the relative priority in which systems get powered. Right now, everything gets powered equally. I'm spending 10 points for movement. I'm spending 4 points on holding my photon torpedoes. 18.5 points of power on shields. Oh, another couple of drones inbound. I'm going to let those get done. No points power into tractor beams, and 1 point into electronic countermeasures. You can see my defense shift is +1 there. I'm going to trigger my batteries to be used. You'll notice there that a couple of phasers fired and my weapon power went up a little bit. It's currently using diverted power from the shields to weapons in order to recharge them faster.